These aren't your average cappuccino chip muffins. And that's because these muffins suck carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, enrich the soil, and pack a protein punch. But this isn't an ad or a paid sponsorship. In today's video, I'm trying to figure out why this isn't the default in America's kitchens. And stay tuned for the end, because there will be a taste test. If you're new to this channel, my name's Cassidy. I'm an American who loves food, but I don't believe that the US food system is the best that we can do. So if you're into sustainable food solutions of the future, make sure to subscribe. All right, let's get into it. First, to understand flour, we have to know the system that it lives in. The government currently provides subsidies for dwarf wheat in the US, and they don't provide any help for more sustainable strands of wheat, like what we're going to talk about later in this video. But even with subsidies for dwarf wheat, if you take a look at this graph here, farmers are actually losing money for farming. Many farmers are paying to feed the world out of their own pockets. So it's no wonder why so many farmers end up having to put sustainability on the back burner. And here's why relying exclusively on dwarf wheat isn't great news for the planet. The modern wheat variety that we heavily rely on all over the world today is heavily reliant on pesticides and fertilizers to grow. And fertilizers make up 2% of all greenhouse gas emissions annually. The dwarf wheat variety is also notorious for soil depletion because they have teeny tiny roots that can't hold on to any water. So the soil, along with all of the fertilizer that got applied on top of it, ends up getting washed into local water bodies. And nitrogen is a recipe for disasters for our local water bodies because it causes algae blooms to flourish, which might not seem like that big of a deal, but when these algae blooms die, it actually sucks all of the oxygen out of the water, so nothing can live there. Okay. You made it through the doom and gloom part of this climate story, and now you understand why the current food system sucks. Now it's time to get to the good news. Because as I mentioned in the beginning, there's this new grain on the market called Kernza, and after talking to Beth Roberston-Martin from Century Grain, I learned that this might be the ingredient that saves our pantries from climate change.
So Kernza is a perennial grain, which means you plant it once and it grows back every year. You don't have to pull it out, it doesn't die at the end of harvest and you have to replant it. It just keeps coming back. So it's much better for the soil.
In fact, Kernza's roots can grow up to 10 feet long. Having extra long roots means that not only do Kernza's roots soak up more water and more nutrients, but it also helps to combat runoff. And according to this research study here, Kernza's roots actually result in a 95% reduction of nitrogen leaching in the soil. It means that farmers can cut their fertilizer use by almost half. But the whole nitrogen issue isn't the only reason why Kernza's long roots are a good thing.
Kernza's roots stay alive year-round, so they're continuously building soil carbon. We work with a company called Merge Impact to quantify exactly how much carbon our supply chain sequesters. So for Kernza, the estimates suggest 1 to 3 tons of carbon per acre per year. So that's basically the equivalent of taking, 12 to 15 cars off the road. Instead of just offsetting our emissions, we're building soil that will continue sequestering carbon.
Farmers are also reducing their carbon emissions because they don't have to take their gas-guzzling tractors out to replant the seeds every single year. What are some of the challenges that prevent Kernza from becoming the standard across the US?
Right now, it's demand. Demand solves all of our problems. If people want to know what this is and are like, oh, I want this in everything I eat because it's delicious, it's nutritious, and it helps, reverse climate change, then that actually is going to make it easier for everyone to grow it.
And as consumers, we have the power to help increase the demand for sustainable products. We can do this by either shopping online until these products get enough demand to sell in store, or you can also request your local co-op to sell some of these ingredients as well. But be warned, these types of products are going to have a higher price tag than the traditional stuff that you're going to find right now at the grocery store. And that's because this type of product breaks the current system where farmers aren't getting paid. So the extra money that you're spending, make sure that you're not just paying the brand, you're paying the farmer and their family. And I'll admit, switching to Kernza entirely isn't going to be as easy as it sounds. There's a reason why most of the world uses this dwarf wheat variety that I talked about. It's because it's one of the highest yielding crops that there is for wheat. So if you switch over to Kernza, you're going to have lower yields on the same amount of land. But that's actually why Beth suggests not going all in on Kernza at first.
You can plant it in smaller ways on maybe even edge of field. There's usually some areas around the field that are bare. You either mow it or spray it or whatever. And so maybe you can plant Kernza on the edge of field so that you can stop spraying. You don't have to spend, money and gas on mowing it. You can harvest a little bit of it if it's for a little bit of value add, but you could start by just doing it in small areas. The other thing is it's really good for cows. So if you are looking for ways to integrate, or you already have animals in your crop rotation, cows can eat it, and that's another way that you can incorporate it.
We've talked about the climate and social impact of Kernza, and we've talked about the price. Now it's time for perhaps the most important thing, the taste test. So today I'm gonna make these cappuccino chip muffins from the Magnolia Bakery, and it will be starring 40 Century Grain perennial flour. We just took the muffins out of the oven, and we have one here to share on a little plate. And we're going to be rating the taste, the texture, and the overall muffin quality before giving it a rating to see if it is good. I have Rachel here to help me out with the taste, texture, and muffin quality to make sure that I'm not lying to you guys. So what do you think, Rachel?
Okay, so we're going to go down the line. I think texture is pretty great. I like the texture a lot. I'm a big fan. Doesn't taste dry, doesn't taste too wet. It's like right in the middle. Then for taste, like it is very wheaty. So if wheat is not your thing, and like maybe this might not be the muffin for you, but I like how it's wheaty, and then you also have the sweetness of the chocolate chips to kind of balance that out. Mm-hmm. And then overall muffin quality, like I give this like an 8 out of 10. I think it's pretty good.
I would agree with that. Like overall, like this muffin tastes like a healthier muffin, and I think part of that is because like this flour has like way more protein in it than like a standard all-purpose flour. So if you're like more used to eating things like that or want something that feels a little bit healthier, this seems like a good option to go. It's not like pure cake for breakfast. Yeah, if you're expecting something a little bit more like what you would find at Costco for a muffin, like you're gonna be disappointed with this. But if you go into it with the expectation of like, hey, this has all of the added benefits of like the higher protein, and it's sustainable and it's healthy and good for you, then I think this is a good option.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for helping me with the muffins, Rachel.
Anytime.
Beth is just one of the many changemakers that I get the pleasure of chatting with on this channel as I learn more about sustainable food systems for our future. That being said, if you enjoy learning about sustainable food solutions for a better future, make sure to subscribe for more stories like this.